Why should you wear makeup in the workplace? Isn't that sexually provocative?
No.
It's not?
No.
Well, what is it then?
All right, what is going on, guys? Today, we are doing not a TikTok video. I know it's crazy. We've been doing TikTok videos, obviously, a lot of the time, just because they're easy and, stuff like that. It's nice to do them. They're easy for me to make, and they're pretty funny. They're pretty entertaining. But today, we are doing something different. Today, we're taking a look at Jordan Peterson. Now, if you don't know who Jordan Peterson is, he's somewhat of like a political figure. I don't really know what you would like super classify him as. I'm not like completely familiar with all of the ins and outs of the guy and all of the beliefs and stuff, although I have a good idea. And without getting too far into like destroying his political positions or whatever, because that's not really the intention of this video, believe it or not. Instead, we are taking a look at his 12 rules for life. Now, what I do know is a good amount of people actually do look to him and agree with him on like, basic life and social skills, kind of like one of those, I can't think of what you call them, but like bettering yourself or, that kind of thing, right? Self-improvement, that's what I'm looking for. So basically he's like one of those people, to help with self-improvement. Now, these people I do kind of have a problem with because they do take it too far sometimes. And so we're going to see if that's the case in these rules. So, without me going ahead and talking off your head for much longer about kind of nothing, let's go ahead and dive into the first rule. So the first rule is stand up straight with your shoulders back. Now, I guess technically this is like a good rule to go by. You do look a little more presentable, approachable, things like that when you do stand like that. If you stand up straight, you look smart, intelligent, you look ready for the day, that kind of thing. Like, it's a lot better than when you look all like hunched over, like you haven't stood up out of your mom's basement in like 40 years or something like that. You don't want to be looking like that. But it's like, I don't really know if this is a rule for life, because you do look weird if you do it all the time. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're in like a formal setting or, something like that, and you're trying to look extra nice, then yes, I do recommend you do this. Like, I'm not saying for, your wedding day or some shit, be looking all slunched over, like all hunched over, slouched, walking up the aisle looking like the fucking Hunchback of Notre Dame or some shit. Don't do that. But it is weird. Like, I don't know if I would necessarily call this a rule for life. It's more of like just good etiquette, because yes, I do this occasionally when I'm trying to be presentable and, look good, make points, things like that. But obviously everybody slouches from time to time. Not everybody's trying to stand up like a fucking board 24/7. It's not comfortable. But moving on to number 2, treat yourself like you are someone you are responsible for helping. Now, this one, my little tiny brain is actually struggling to comprehend what this fully means. I think that it's saying that, treat yourself like you would treat someone else that you cared about or something. Like, treat yourself well. Maybe like don't think of it as treating yourself, but like as if you were treating someone that was important to you, because that's what you should be, I guess, which is kind of true. It is important to treat yourself. However, I typically go by like, I like treating myself when the situation is right. I don't like rewarding myself all the time for nothing. But, if I've done something cool, then yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll reward myself. I'll give myself a break. I'll buy myself something nice. Maybe I'll go, get something good to eat, something like that. If I felt like, today was a good day, I did good, or I did something like big, like, I made a cool video, or my video's doing well, and I'm like, oh, that's good. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. Maybe the next video isn't going to be as crazy, or I'm going to like relax on the editing just to kind of give myself a little bit of a break because I did really good on the last one or something like that. That's good, but I don't know if you should be rewarding yourself all the time, because then you do kind of fall into like this, oh, this is weird. I'm just constantly giving myself stuff for not really doing a whole lot. So, know your self-worth and know how to appreciate yourself for sure. But I mean, don't be so egotistical that you're just like, I just fucking reward myself for everything I do. Like, you got to figure that one out for yourself. So again, not bad advice, but I don't know if I would call it like a life rule, 3, make friends with people who want the best for you. Now, this one I can't actually argue with. This is just a good point for life, like it really is. You really should be making friends that want the best for you, not just the best for them, not just like seeing you as a friend. You want to be friends with somebody who truly does want the best for you. I mean, that's really all I could say about that one. And, you want to be friends with people who you want the best for, you don't want to be friends with somebody who you're like, oh, I hope they get fucking hit by a train. Like, that's not a healthy friendship. You want to be friends with somebody that you care about, and they also care about you in return. Friendships are just like, treat them like any other relationship, whether that be romantic or friendship. Everybody should care about each other. It should be good. There's just different intentions. So, treat everybody well, and hopefully everybody will treat you well. And if they don't treat you well, fuck them, right? That's what we're living with. So not a bad point there. I do kind of have to concede to him there, but okay. 4, compare yourself with who you were yesterday, not with who someone else is today. Now, I don't really know about this one, because I don't know if you should. I mean, I guess if you improved, maybe, but I don't really like looking back to the past. It's in the past. It already happened. So I don't know. Like, I don't know why you would compare yourself with who you were yesterday, because hopefully you've changed. Hopefully you're, a whole new person from yesterday. Hopefully you're better, and, you're working towards something, which is why you would look towards who someone else is today. You should have goals like, oh, I want to be like this person, I want to do these things. And now I'm not saying like, be a teenage girl, or like be like some 12-year-old girl that's like, oh my God, I want to be like Ariana Grande, like how she is today. Like, that's not really the best goal, because do you really? And you don't really see like the full aspect of who Ariana Grande is and shit like that. Like, it can get a little weird, maybe that's not the best route to take, and that's probably not the most achievable goal. I'm not saying stuff like that, or like base your life off of people on social media. I mean, like, maybe you'll see something from, whether it be a YouTube creator you like, an actor, a rapper, artist, whatever it is. Maybe you see like a quote or something, and you're like, damn, that's sick. I like the way that he thinks, the way that he said that. Like, that's a cool way of thinking. I really like that. Hopefully, I can, get to that, to where I'm thinking in that mindset, or, something like that. I'm not saying do the unrealistic goal to where you're going to feel like shit because you realize you can't really achieve that. But, just make like good goals, good future goals, where you look at other people and you like what they do and you think, I want to be like that. I'm going to work to getting to that point, and keep it realistic. Just like any goal, it should be realistic. You can't be going too far. This was like me back when I started my channel, when I was like, let's hit 100,000 subscribers, but like, there was no fucking way. That's like an unachievable goal. For me right now, of course, you can always grow to that though. But now, like, 500, 400, these goals that I've been setting, I'm able to hit them because they're current, and they work, and they're achievable. And like, I can do that. They're not out of reach. And, you move through those smaller goals, you'll hit that big goal. So don't necessarily reflect on your past self and ask, are you better today? Because you're probably not going to improve too much if you keep doing that. Definitely set goals. So I 100% disagree with this point. Look up to people, whether that be someone famous, or whether that be, you know, your dad or your grandpa or your mom or your grandma or something like that. You know, if those people inspire you, look up to them. You know, it's good to look up to people. It really is, because it helps shape you into, you know, more of the person you want to be, and hopefully a better person, because you'll not end up, you won't end up exactly like them. You know, you'll still keep yourself. It's just those morals and goals and stuff. I know I got really deep on that one. Like, I hope you took something away from that, because if not, that was just a whole lot of rambling with no real outcome. But moving on to 5, do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. Now, 4 and 5, the list has taken a bit of a turn here. You know, the first 3 were okay. You know, I didn't like completely. Of course, I had my own critiques, because I have my own critiques on everything. I'm literally a commentary YouTuber, probably one of the most opinionated people, you know, in the world. But, you know, so obviously I had my critiques, but this is just weird all around. Like, don't let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. This is where it gets weird. Now, of course, I am still younger. However, I am making my transition slowly into being an adult. So, you know, I'm not like the 4-year-old kid that thinks that they rule the fucking world and parents are assholes, and I can't wait to be a grown-up to show them and to, you know, not enforce anything on anybody. You know, like, I'm not in that thinking, okay? I am in a pretty logical thinking, to the point where, like, if my kid did something that I didn't really like, or that I thought, you know, this makes me dislike my kid a little bit, I'm okay with letting them do that every once in a while, you know? Like, honestly, I think that kids should be able to do things that their parents maybe don't like. Now, I'm not saying that the parents should encourage it and be like, oh, yes, but kids do kind of have to push those boundaries sometimes. And if your kid pisses you off, say, hey, that wasn't cool. Don't do that. You know, that's not good to do. And hopefully in their mind, that makes them realize, like, okay, you know, maybe this isn't what I want to do. But you can't just, like, force them into being sheltered. Like, you can't do anything I dislike. I mean, the kid's a fucking human being too, you know? You can't, like, sit on top of that kid like a fucking mama bird and never let it do anything. You know, it's like, it is a human being. It does have thoughts of its own. It wants to do its own thing. You kind of have to let it do its own thing sometimes. Sometimes you're going to dislike it. Other times you're going to be like, oh shit, look, my kid did a really fucking cool thing all on his own. And you know, that is part of being a parent. You're going to run into those, oh shit, what the fuck is my kid doing moments. But you're also going to run into those, shit, my kid's awesome, and my kid thought of that by themselves. Like, that's awesome. You know, the way that I raised them to be able to think for themselves. It's crazy. So yeah, I don't really agree with that one. I think you should let your children, you know, obviously don't let them do whatever they want, but you should let them explore the boundaries sometimes, you know, and see, like, you know, how willing they are to kind of push the boundaries, and just so they are able to get a good idea, and you're able to, you know, set a good idea of what's reasonable based on how mature your child is, you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, real good parenting advice from somebody who is not a parent. But, you know, I hope that, you know, hopefully I helped you raise your kid with that. Yeah. So moving on to number 6, set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. Now, again, what the fuck does this mean? I guess it's like, oh, if you have, you know, a messy house, then you can't say shit about, you know, how the world is going, or the state of the world, or blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, you could be anybody. You could be living in a fucking tent in the side of the road on Skid Row, and you could have an opinion on how the fucking world works, you know? It's crazy how opinions work, and you could voice that opinion, you know, because that's just how it is. Go ahead and criticize the world if you're that person. I don't give a fuck. You know, who cares? This one's just weird, and it's just a who cares. Yes, it is good to keep your house in order, you know, so you don't live like a hoarder or something. But at the same time, I mean, that has absolutely nothing to do with your ability to criticize the world. I mean, I guess it's because, oh, well, you can't keep your own shit together. Why do you have an opinion on how other people should keep their shit together? But it's not really the same, you know. It's not always, it doesn't always work like that. It's just weird. It's a weird point. 7, pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. I don't know what the fuck expedient means. I'm not that educated in the English language at this point in time. Expedient, I mean, I'm gonna assume that it's like not meaningful, but yeah, I guess definitely you probably should pursue what is meaningful and not just some useless bullshit. So I guess we kind of agree on this one too, but I still don't know what expedient means. And also, I'm going to stop doing this weird ass like whisper thing. I thought it would be kind of funny, but now it's going on a little long. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess we agree with that one. 8, tell the truth or at least don't lie. What the fuck? Like, tell the truth. Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. I like very few things are super important to me in like another person. But honesty and like loyalty are like my 2 biggest ones. If you're honest and if you're loyal, like I'll fuck with you, 100%. Other things, they can kind of get looked over, like your views on things and stuff like that. Like that can all get looked over. If you're honest and loyal, that's cool. But dude, like what the fuck? Why does it say, or at least don't lie? Like, does that mean bend the fucking truth? Like, don't bend the truth. Just fucking say shit how it is. Be honest with people. That's what people want to hear. They want to hear the fucking true story. They don't want to hear some bullshit lie, because it will come back to bite you in the ass later on. Trust me, if you tell a lie, it'll come back, it'll bite you in the ass. So just stay truthful, stay truthful to yourself, to your friends, and just, always tell the truth. Now, obviously, if it's like a little fucking white lie that doesn't matter, I'm not going to get on your ass about that, because that's a fucking human nature thing. But, when it comes to something big or something, big happening, yeah, just tell the truth. Be honest. Be honest. Stick to yourself, and hope it works out well for you. It should, because it's the truth. But yeah, I mean, who knows? 9, assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. Now, this one's actually kind of good. I'm not gonna lie, Jordan Peterson. You make a point here. It is possible that the person you are listening to might know something that you don't. Now, this is especially important to keep in mind for arguments, because arguments are like, obviously you think you're the shit and you know what's going on, and the other person thinks they're the shit and they know what's going on. So it is important to actually hear out the side of the story, hear out the perspective, whatever it is, and then think, oh, actually maybe they are making a point here about something that, maybe I don't understand that fully, and they might, or, maybe this or maybe that, it is important to keep that up. And that's, just good argument etiquette overall. Always kind of give them credit that they probably know at least something. And that's why they're having this argument with you. If they didn't know anything, they wouldn't make the argument, because they wouldn't even know what's going on, and they would just, who float around life, But if they're arguing, they do think that they know something, and there's a possibility that they do. So, it is important to hear out people like that. And definitely keep in mind, maybe they are smarter than me on this or something like that. It's not necessarily bad to admit that you're not the smartest person in the room, or you're not the smartest person in the argument. It's okay. It's just a part of being mature. You don't always have to be the best at everything. 10, be precise in your speech. Now, this is just, what the fuck does that mean? Because here's the thing, no one gives a shit, okay? Now, I have like pretty bad social anxiety. I fear that like every little slip up I make is going to get realized, and, it's going to get shit on, and this is going to happen and that's going to happen. So it leads me to not say a lot of things. It leads me to stutter or, do things like that every once in a while, because I'm just like, oh God, like I don't really know what I should do here. What am I going to do? And now I know that might sound a little weird, given that I make these videos regularly. And I sound okay in them. Don't get me wrong. Like I do have my moments. And if you look back at my before videos, like my early videos, those you can pretty easily tell I sound really shy and really nervous and stuff. And it's easier on here because obviously I'm just talking into my phone, or I'm like talking to myself pretty much. But I do have pretty severe social anxiety. Now, what I've learned over the years and how I've kind of helped myself and been able to be more open and expressive and stuff like that, like how normal people should be able to be, is I don't care about people, worrying about if I'm precise in my speech or not, because who cares? Like, if you really think about it, think about, something embarrassing that you've seen, like someone else do. Did you maybe think it was kind of funny or kind of stupid in the moment? Yeah, but did you remember it when you went home later that day? No. I mean, you can maybe remember it now because you're thinking about it, but like you had to actually be told to think about it. You weren't just thinking, oh, I remember that time, like all the time. And would you ever really bring it up or make fun of them for it? Probably not. So, it's just kind of one of those things where being precise in your speech doesn't really matter. If you say some dumbass shit or slip up or, do something like that, miss a line, whatever, go quiet, no one's going to care. You might think that they will, but they really won't in the grand scheme of things. It's not a big deal. So, that's that. Number 11, do not bother children when they are skateboarding. What? Like, okay, I guess I agree with this. Being somebody who grew up skateboarding and riding bikes and, shit like that. I do get it because adults do get fucking pissed at that shit for some reason. I mean, I guess I kind of know why now that I've grown up. Like, they don't want you fucking up their property and shit. But like, I mean, I guess, yeah, don't bother kids when they're skateboarding. They don't want to talk to you. You're probably like 60 and worried that the fucking skateboard is going to make your property value go down if somebody drives by and sees it happening. Like, I don't know. Or you're like a public worker and, you have to keep kids off of the fucking statue in the middle of town because they're skateboarding on the fucking ledge or whatever. Like, this one's just pointless. It's useless. This point or rule or whatever the fuck you want to call them this is useless. Number 12, pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. Now, what a great one to end on because I could sum this one up real quick. I'm allergic as fuck to cats. I would not be petting any cat, let alone one that just came crawling out of the crackhead alley behind the fucking building. Yeah, fuck that shit. Not going near that thing. Fuck cats. They fucking suck dick. They make my eyes itch out of my fucking brain, except for hairless cats. I kind of fuck with those. Those things are kind of cool. But like any other cat, fuck cats with hair. They're ass. Yeah. So if you're a cat person, I'm sorry. I am sorry. We can't exist together. Just, hey, remember the fucking, remember rule number 9. Hey, assume I know something in this argument, right? That was a terrible bit at the end. But, yeah, this was a different kind of video. I know it was a little weird. It was a little, like, serious, I guess, and a little strange. Like, what is this? But, I don't know. I felt like doing it. It seemed interesting. I've seen a lot of people kind of critique or agree with these rules. So I thought, I'll give it a shot. Why not? It is definitely a different video than is typically on my channel. And so I did kind of have a different tone and a little bit of a different style for this video. But yeah, overall, it's still a video by me. So, if you like this kind of content, there's more of these rules. We can go through them, given how well this video does. If you didn't like this content, let me know with some constructive criticism in the comments, please. Tell me to get my ass back on TikTok, because those videos are probably funnier. And yeah, so if that's the case, just let me know, because this was just a weird video and I just wanted to try it out because it's my YouTube channel, so I can do whatever the fuck I want on it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, it means a lot to me. I hope you guys got something like valuable out of this video or something. I don't really know. I'm not like the biggest spokesperson on shit like this, but hey, if you took away anything or if you learned anything, that's cool to me. So yeah. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.